I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. I don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone.
Well, I guess I was fortunate growing up in a small town. Lots of friends, lots to do, lots of interface with those friends. Good family life, and one way to, I was the first one to get a college degree in my family. Back in those days, not everyone had a college degree by any means like it is nowadays, where that is a major thing everybody works to accomplish. But I was fortunate enough. I went to school, got a degree in marketing and management. Fortunate enough that I went to the service. I was in the Army, went through basic training. I think that was good discipline. I went to work right out of getting out of the Army. Had to leave Oklahoma because there wasn't any jobs in Oklahoma. So I had to go to find a job in a larger metropolitan area. Then I found a job with a company in Dallas. I was with them for roughly 35 years, all told, till I retired. I went through a merger in later career, but I worked straight through, up through the company over the years. In those days, people usually tried to stay. If they had a good employer, they tried to stay with them. I started out in consumer marketing, then advanced and went into another segment of industrial marketing, then became a manager. Later years became a vice president, worked for a major corporation, was pretty fortunate in a career. Probably really more fortunate and more successful than I had anticipated I'd ever be. A good job, a good family.
To me it means that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to be.
What the American dream means to me is that people can come to America and they could be like, they weren't that good, and they come to America and they can just be the best that they can be. Like, America gives everyone a chance.
I mean, the American dream is kind of this idea that, like, you can build yourself out of nothing.
Yeah, for the most part, I think the economic system is pretty fair, except that people seem to start out in different places, and the people with more money feel like they don't need to do as much, even though everyone that's here obviously needs to do the same amount.
I don't think it's fair, but I don't think there is a way to make capitalism 100% fair, because you have people that are going to be wealthy because they have come from wealth and because they have more money.
Well, I think you have to have a good education. I think you have to have discipline, a good work ethic, good support.
In America, we really believe in getting the right education. Like going to college, a lot of people need to do that to get good jobs. But again, there are still people come to America, they don't have an education, they can still get a job.
I think you need to be knowledgeable, you need to work as hard as you can to learn as much as you can. And then also I think you have to be very tenacious, and I also think you have to be patient, because I think that success doesn't necessarily come with it.
I don't. I think that the whole, well, yes, if you work hard enough to get there, you can, but the level of work that you have to do is ridiculously more now than it was then. The standards are ridiculously more, and I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing, but it's just how it is.
Yes, I believe it'll keep getting stronger, and it is as strong as it has ever been, because it seems that with the social mobility and everything as of right now, people can do whatever they want.
I think it's much more complicated and much more complex than it was in the past. I think there's a lot more things controlled, whereas I think we pretty much in my day, it was just a path to get an education, find a good job, to try to improve yourself and to advance. Now, I think there's a lot of other things.
Broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone. America, my shine.